and it's going to go live at any minute, and then I can just edit this out later. It doesn't matter. That's the power. That's the power of StreamYards, baby. What is up, guys? Chase Oliver here, bringing you another NFL live stream. If you're in the chat, go ahead and leave a comment. We'll answer as many NFL questions as we can. And if you guys haven't already, follow me on Twitter at ChaseOliver68. I am back. As you guys know, I haven't been active as of late. You know, I'm a California boy, so when it gets a little bit cold and the seasons change, Chase Oliver gets a little bit sick. All right, and when I'm sick, I can't do anything. But I'm not alone. As you see, as always, we have the beautiful Anthony Genelin here. Anthony, how are you, my friend?
Oh, Chase, I am fantastic. Best game of the season. Best catch in NFL history. That's why I wore Justin Jefferson.
Let's relax now, okay? There's been a lot of great catches in there. I mean, George Pickens had a great catch not too long ago. But joining us, we have the pride of New York. His Jets are 6-3. I wish my Chargers could be 6-3. We have the man behind True Heel Heat Wrestling and True Heel Heat Sports doing every single True Heel Heat Sports watch along. Hey, if you're bored on Sundays, you want to watch football with the boys, you can. And I'm there too. And you get angry, Chase. You all say, Chase, you're too nice. You're too nice now. Well, if you want angry Chase, go to True Heel Heat Sports. As I say, fuck Brandon Staley. We got Romeo Anthony Colon. Romeo, how's goes it, my friend?
What's up, Chase? What's up, Anthony? Thanks for having me on here. They left the lights for me on MetLife Stadium, as you can see.
There we go.
Watching the Knicks at the same time. Not looking too good.
Romeo, I thought we said we both quit basketball. What is this? Why are we still watching this? I thought we played the Daniel Garcia meme. We said, well, then I am too. I thought we were done with this.
Hey. All right, you want to talk Jets 6-3? Enjoyed that bye week. But now it's Patriots week.
Oh, don't worry. Near the end of the stream, we talk about our respective teams and how nervous we are for the games coming up. But Anthony, our good friend Anthony, he has no reason to be nervous because the Minnesota Vikings are on the rise. After the Philadelphia Eagles took their first loss of the season, the Vikings had a tremendous comeback against the Super Bowl favorite Buffalo Bills in Minnesota. I gotta say, Anthony, you can justify this more than ever. I mean, you even said it. You were trying to say catch of the year before you do. But look at Kirk Cousins, bro.
Chainz.
So inspirational, bro. He's just so inspirational as a quarterback. But Anthony, the floor is yours on this Minnesota Vikings team. Because honestly, if you're a Vikings fan and the wins that you've been having, this is more quality than you have seen in quite some time.
It is. You know, Chase, I was thinking about it. I mean, this might be the best Vikings team I've watched in my life.
What, even the Brett Favre years?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, 8-1. Kirko Chainz is the quarterback. I'm really liking what we're seeing. First, Chase, for not necessarily you guys, but for the rest of the NFL, I think it's finally time to acknowledge the Vikings because the Vikings are here. And the Vikings, like you look at this game, what I love about this game is like, you know, a lot of times a game like that, you can point to one individual person. That's why they won, or one individual play. With the Vikings, you can't. There are so many things. 4th and 18 when Justin Jefferson had the catch of a lifetime, keeping the game alive. And then Eric Kendricks being able to cause the fumble and get the touchdown when I gave up. I was ready at that point. I was so pissed. But Eric Kendricks came back, kept it alive. Then you go, you know, when the Bills had their final drive in overtime, Duke Shelley, no Viking fan knew who he was till that play because he just got picked up. He just got promoted from the practice squad, and he's able to stop a game-ending touchdown right there. And then, of course, Patrick Peterson, like Harrison Smith was saying, get him his jacket. That man earned his jacket that day and that day alone. 2 interceptions in the red zone to stop Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. And here's the thing, too. I think it's time to really acknowledge Kirk Cousins, easily a top 10 quarterback. Josh Allen and Kirk Cousins both threw 2 interceptions. But you look at Josh Allen, he also had a terrible, terrible fumble, a game ultimately losing fumble. I mean, here's the thing, too. I looked, you know, listening to people that talk about the Vikings, talking to Vikings friends and family. Like everybody, you looked at the 17 games, you can make strong arguments that coming into the season, the Vikings would win 16 of those games. The one game that was almost universally said by Viking fans they would probably not win was that Bills game, and the Vikings were able to do it. That's huge. Philadelphia Eagles also take a loss. That's huge. They're both 8-1. I'm actually liking the stretch of games the Vikings have. The only road games they have left is against the NFC North. They're pretty weak right now. And then the rest of their games they have are hosting, which definitely helps. Chase, Romeo, I think we are soon going to talk about the Vikings no longer being the twos. We the ones in the NFC very, very soon.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess
Kirko. What a speech. What a speech.
What a pro. See, Romo, this is why you need him on True Eat Sports. This is
a victory.
Real-time Vikings fan.
Damn, hey, imagine a playoff win.
Yeah, he'll be excited about that. Romeo, what are your takes on the Vikings? Because you see a lot of them and stuff. But what are your takes on them as a team as a whole and this big win?
A big win there by the Vikings. I love that it was, anchored by two of my LSU guys, Justin Jefferson, Patrick Peterson. I love it. I love to see it. And as a Jets fan, I was a purple people eater. Oh man, I was rooting for the Vikings right there for that one. I gotta admit, I was watching that game from start to finish, and at times I'm like, you can't help yourself. You're like, Kirk Cousins, what the hell are you doing? Kirk Cousins, what the hell are you doing? But in the end, Kirk Cousins got that W.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I love Patrick Peterson on the plane with the chain. He had the chains this time on the plane.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Justin Jefferson. Wow. What can you say? Jeez, that catch. One of the greatest catches I've ever seen. Listen, the Vikings, they might get that 1 seed. Who knows? But Kirk Cousins still makes me nervous at times. He still makes me nervous. I can't let that slide. So, and it wasn't even a primetime game.
Yeah, it was.
Kirk Cousins will make you nervous, Anthony. Sometimes.
Well,
a lot of times.
Hey, once again, a team lost to the new nightmare, and
new nightmare.
It won't be a noon game this week against the Cowboys. I'm also a little bit worried because the following week's Thursday night football game on Thanksgiving against the Patriots at home. But if he wins those two games, oh my goodness. I think we can throw away that discussion in my opinion, forever.
And then December 4th, baby. Sauce Gardner versus Justin Jefferson. Whoa, bring your popcorn.
Gonna get lost in the sauce for sure on that one. I was telling Anthony, remember Anthony, like the first show I said, I like what this Vikings team has, especially on defense, because it just has a bunch of good guys where it's like they've been there before. Patrick Peterson has played at a high level. Harrison Smith has played at a high level. Kendricks has played at a high level. Daniil Hunter, underrated as pass rusher. No one talks about him as a pass rusher. Tomlinson, when he's healthy, he's a really good run-stopping defensive tackle. Darisaw, who's also out for you guys, he improved as a left tackle this season as well. So I was really high on the Vikings this season because of the fact that, you look at the pieces that they have everything you need to make a playoff run. It's just up to Kirk Cousins. Like Romeo said, it's more of a Kirk Cousins scene. It's just like something about him. He just looks like he wants to fuck up. Like he just is like, you know what? I gotta mess up somehow, some way. It's like that's just how Kirk Cousins rolls. But Justin Jefferson, I think the debate of who the best wide receiver in the NFL is over. He is. He's the best. In my personal opinion, this man is the best wide receiver in the National Football League. Romeo, is there anyone close to Justin Jefferson right now?
Yes, there is. Also from LSU, Jamar Chase.
Well, he's not active. I'm talking about active right now. Healthy.
Well, Cooper Kupp's hurt.
Yeah.
They're dropping like dominoes. But Stephon Diggs is probably the next best thing.
Maybe there's a guy in Miami.
He got outdueled here.
What about the guy in Miami, Tyreek Hill? Yeah. Look at this comment by my good friend C. Peasy. Kirk Cousins is the Dolph Ziggler of quarterbacks. What do you think about that, Anthony?
I'm a little insulted, but Dolph Ziggler had his moments. Former world heavyweight champion and NXT champion, so if that means
We can't even call them that then, because you got to be a champion first to be compared to Dolph Ziggler.
If that means Kirk Cousins got a championship in his future,
Yeah.
sure, I'll take that as a compliment then.
Yeah,
I'd gladly take it then.
Yeah, he took the cash in. But the Buffalo Bills are not taking the cash in right now as Josh Allen struggled. The Bills just look like they don't look like the Buffalo Bills that we are expecting to them be. They don't look like that Super Bowl contender. And now I'm hearing that it might snow in Cleveland, and they don't have a running back. The running back is their quarterback. And now you're going to go against a team with two of their running backs? Like, oh, man, I don't know. Romeo, as a Jets fan, you must be loving this. The Bills are taking a little bit of a slide. They're not looking as immortal as you think they are. Like, what are you thinking about the Buffalo Bills lately with their struggles and how they've looked?
Yeah, we started it. We made them look bad. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, and then we hurt Josh Allen. And you could say whatever you want that he's playing with this injury, he was running like the regular Josh Allen, but you can't tell me that this UCL injury, like it's all peachy now, it's all gravy. Like it's gonna affect him the rest of the year. It still is. I saw he got slammed on the turf right on his elbow. He fell and he looked in pain. I don't think the Bills are going to be the same the rest of the year. Josh Allen lost. He's out of the MVP conversation now after that terrible performance with those interceptions. Where were you throwing it to? They looked awful.
Exactly.
If that was Zach Wilson throwing those passes,
he'll get crucified.
You'd understand because Zach Wilson did that against the Patriots. But Josh Allen, he gets a little bit of a pass because he's Josh Allen. He's already established a name for himself. But the Bills are looking shaky, and that game you mentioned on Sunday, if it's snowing, forget it. The Browns are going to run all over them with Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. They might lose that one too.
Yeah, especially in the snow. And then I think it's just the Browns team is more equipped in that game to win in the snow because they're not going to throw as much. And Jacoby Brissett, not that bad of a runner himself. Anthony, what are your thoughts of the Bills struggling? I know because Romeo, we cash in or we do this thing with the MVP where we can like hedge our bets and stuff. And so I originally chose Lamar Jackson as my MVP, but I hedged it and I now chose Patrick Mahomes as my MVP. But I can't choose to go back. Good. But I can't go back to Lamar Jackson. So I can't just say like if Lamar starts doing good again, I can't go back to Lamar. But Anthony has Josh Allen, and he hasn't hedged yet. He hasn't hedged. He hasn't changed his bet yet on Josh Allen. Anthony, is it time? Are you going to choose someone else?
Well, let me start out with this. How long do I have to hedge my bet?
You have until week 14.
Week 14. I'll wait till week 14 then.
Oh,
but okay. Let me put it this way. I've sold my Josh Allen stock. I don't believe in him. Fraud? Fraud?
Wait, what?
Okay, maybe not that bad. But, I love seeing that Kirk Cousins outplayed him, especially because Kirk Cousins, I think, is constantly disrespected. I think he's been a top 10 quarterback, and I hope this past week kind of made that more solidified.
I know we're talking about the Bills, but Romeo, who's the better quarterback, like, just like overall? Matthew Stafford or Kirk Cousins?
Overall, like their careers.
Yeah, overall their careers.
Stafford.
Yeah.
No,
not right now though.
Stafford, we don't even know. Did he retire? We don't hear anything about Stafford anymore. He's sure playing like he did, but we're not talking about Stafford. We're not talking about Kirk.
Romeo, he says Kirk Cousins is better than Stafford his whole career.
Yeah,
no.
He also says Matthew Stafford's not a Hall of Famer.
No.
Well, he's got that Super Bowl, so that's going to help him.
It'll help, but I hope it doesn't push him through. But we'll see.
Dang, what a hater. Yeah, now he's hoping.
He's like,
he hopes for Stafford.
Man, are we just going to, this guy plays for a long time, be like, fine, here's a ring. Like, no. Just because you're in the NFL for a long time doesn't mean you get – and I mean, you sucked for years till you went to L.A. You did good for 1 year, and now it's like you're on the Lions again.
They're gonna get him in there. He's really high on the passing yard list.
Yeah, that's what I was
really high.
That's what I was trying to tell him. He has all these stats.
And the Super Bowl is it's like a ticket. It's like punch ticket.
I hope not.
But
you know,
anyways,
we'll see.
back to the bill. Because Romeo, I just want to know what you thought, because I'm like, there's no way he's the only one that thinks Stafford Cousins is better than Stafford of all
Can't do
time.
that. Can't go there.
Even CPZ, who has wild takes, is even saying Stafford in the chat. Man, come on. CPZ has the wildest of takes.
So I will get back. I will get back to Josh Allen. So Josh Allen, the Bills struggle in general. It's interesting. This is like the worst year they can struggle because all three teams in the division beyond them have a winning record. They're doing really well. I mean, there's a good chance we don't see them win the division this year. I mean, it'd be a shame, especially with how well they played. It was a home game, but they played very well against a Vikings team that only had one loss coming into that game. So, like, you look at their losses, it's not like they're losing against bad teams. Like, they're losing against good teams. But, what's come playoff time, I assume they're going to be a playoff team. So come playoff time, if you're losing to good teams, I mean, they'll be lucky to make it out of the divisional round. They'll probably be a wild card loss. These are big struggles. Brian Dabble, I was a huge fan of his. I felt, I was a little bit wrong about Kevin O'Connell. I think he's done a pretty good job. But, like, I felt like coming into this offseason, I was like, if they're going to go with the new head coach, I'd love to see my Vikings go with Brian Dabble because I think he did really well with that offense. And, he leaves Sean McDermott's defensive coordinator before he was a head coach. I think we're kind of seeing that there. The offense isn't what it quite was. The defense, I mean, the Vikings put 33 up against the defense. It's not like the first time teams put up a ton against the Bills this year. Yeah, I think the Bills have a lot of worry. I think they went from most people predicting them to be in the Super Bowl, if not Super Bowl champions, to, I won't be surprised if they lose in the wild card this year.
Yeah, you know who's worried? Me, because I have my Bills-Eagles Super Bowl ticket that I would love to cash.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. But speaking of the Eagles, the NFC East, it's just a battle between these four teams. I'm counting the Commanders in there. I think the Commanders have earned the respect. I know it's the old logo in there. I could not find an updated. No one has the W. I was just like, I was too lazy to edit it in. But
lazy
the
ass.
NFC,
I found it.
Okay. Well, good for you, Romeo. But the NFC East is battling. The Eagles are 8-1. The Cowboys have 3 losses on the record. Took a bad loss to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, and the Giants are looking good, and the Commanders are looking good as well. Romeo, are we going to see a change of direction in the NFC East? Are the Eagles going to have a little bit of bad luck and they move, and the Giants move up first, or is it business as usual? Are the Eagles going to take care of business and lead this division? Give me your thoughts on the NFC East real quick.
The Eagles are going to finish on top of the division. I think their schedule, they still got the Colts, the Packers, which they should handle, Titans at home, road against the Giants, Bears on the road. Like, there's enough wins in there to squeak by. Giants, though, now they're getting to the easy part of their schedule. They had the Texans, they got the Lions, they got the Commanders twice still, and of course the Vikings. So, but no, I'm just kidding. That wasn't an easy game. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Anthony. Just kidding.
No.
The NFC East is getting interesting. I mean, but I still think the Eagles finish first. The Cowboys, though, you got to beat the Packers. You had a 14-point lead late, and the anchor of your team on the Cowboys is the defense.
Yeah,
and they blow it. Who's this guy that caught 3? Watson? What? Christian Watson? What?
Yeah,
3 touchdowns on 4 catches? On 4 catches.
Could not tell you where he played.
You can't lose that game to the Packers. And now the Packers have new life. All of a sudden, now they're looking at themselves. They're pumping their chest. Now they think they could beat Tennessee on Thursday. And Tennessee's going to be losing a lot of starters here for the Thursday night game. But the Commanders, that was a huge win. Huge win. And of course, killed my parlays all over the place. Unbelievable.
Come on, Eagles. Anthony, what is your thoughts on the NFC East right now? The very competitive NFC East. I mean, you're going to be facing one of these teams in the playoffs, Anthony. Like, which team do you not want to face in the playoffs?
Well, I mean, So here's the thing. I'd like to face the Eagles in Minnesota. I would not like to face them in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And I would like to see the Eagles not win the division because that probably means the Vikings get the 1 seed. Even the Commanders, even though the Vikings, the scoreboard shows they only won by 3, but they got the Commanders got a touchdown they should have not. A ref interfered. I will die on that statement. But yeah, I mean, this is a really, really, really good division. That I love this division because it's either the best or the worst in football. There's no in between. This year, they're the best. I mean, Commanders, you can make an argument. They make the playoffs. Honestly, it's an uphill battle for them, but I wouldn't be shocked. Love to see Taylor Heineke do good. But yeah, I mean, the Vikings still have to play the Giants. They still, so we'll see how that goes. They play the Cowboys this week.
By the way, Vikings lost to the Eagles.
Yep.
So
they're 1-1. They're 1-1 in the division right now. I will throw my support behind the Cowboys or Giants winning the division if the Vikings are able to beat them. We'll see. But man, I mean, Brian Daboll, especially what he's been able to do with the Giants this year, crazy. I wasn't expecting that in year 1. So yeah, this is a really good team, really good division. I just hope the Super Bowl, the NFC champions aren't from this division.
I don't know why. I'm feeling the Giants. I feel like the Giants could take over this division. I feel the Eagles, they're going to come back down to earth. I think teams are finally getting the footage that they need on Jalen Hurts and saying this is how we can contain him and make him uncomfortable, because that's where Jalen Hurts struggles is later part of the season. That's what happened to him last year too. He got people figured out how to contain him. People figured out what they needed to do to slow him down, especially from the running aspect. Mm-hmm. And Hurts, he's an explosive runner, but he's not like a Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson type of runner where he's able to, rely on his speed. He's more of a power runner. So it's one of those things where he can't really just outspeed everyone. So I feel like the Giants, I don't know what it is, but this stupid team just won't lose. Like they just they're so stupid. The Giants are literally like that team you pick up in Madden. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to rebuild them. And then just because you're good at Madden, you end up being that record anyway, 7-2, because you're like just good at the game. That's just like Brian Daboll's like controlling them like a Madden player right now. Like I don't understand how they have a winning record and that they're actually good at. Like it just makes no sense, man. It just makes no sense. So,
but you can make the argument that the Eagles' loss actually helps them going forward because. Everybody wants to be perfect, but being perfect is really hard and
it's stressful.
A distraction.
Mm-hmm.
And now they got that out of the way. A lot of analysts been saying, get that L out of the way, and now you can really prep for the playoffs, and you don't have to worry about the distraction. What do you think? Yeah. You agree with that's a distraction somewhat?
Yeah, it is. It is a distraction. And there's also a lot of pressure, especially for that type of team and like the offense, the high-powered offense that they have, and the stifling defense. Like what? Like they lead don't they lead the league in turnovers? Like. Their safety, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, has like 6 of them, and then the old Giants cornerback Bradbury, he has like 4. So yeah, they do a good job on defense. So we shall wait and see about the Eagles. But the Eagles' next opponent, they're taking on the Colts with Jeff Saturday, interim head coach, after a 2-game losing streak in high school. Jeff Saturday makes his NFL debut, and he becomes a winning coach against the Las Vegas Raiders. Anthony, are the Colts back? Is our boy Matty Ice back? We've been hard on him, but is he back? Are the Colts back, Anthony? Are they going to ride the South?
No. Matt Ryan, that was still a terrible trade. Jeff Saturday won. I guess that shows how bad the Raiders are. I just, hey, you have John Fox on your staff, which I didn't even know. Like the only reason I knew about that was like after I heard Frank Reich got fired. I'm like, oh, I wonder who their interim head coach will be. I'm like, well, they have John Fox. He's doing nothing as a coach. Like he was a pretty solid head coach. Just make him your interim for a little bit. But I don't know. I mean. That I wouldn't be surprised if that's his only win. I don't think he's gonna be that great. I mean, like the man only was a high school coach. He had a good speech after his first interview.
Like Dan Campbell. Like Dan Campbell. He fired up the troops.
No, not in that way. It's more like he's like, I could suck at this or I could be good. I don't know, but we're gonna see what happens. I'm like, yeah, that's true. Like I don't hate the guy. Like congratulations. Like he got a head coaching job and he had no NFL experience or college experience as a coach whatsoever. But just because they won one game against probably the worst team in the league, I'm not expecting them to do much.
Romeo, what is your thoughts on the Indianapolis Colts? Well, can they run the table? Can they take back the South?
Run the table.
Yeah. Jeff Saturday, he's motivating them.
You know they got next week, right? The Eagles.
Yeah. Can they run the table? Can Jeff Saturday?
I hope
Jeff
so.
Saturday?
I hope they at least beat the Eagles.
Yeah, can Jeff
they got
Saturday's
some tough
go?
Games. They got the Eagles, Cowboys, Vikings,
Yeah,
Giants.
Maybe this is where Jeff Saturday proves it. Maybe Jeff Saturday proves his point.
No chance. Listen, the whole Jeff Saturday hiring was rigged from the beginning.
He's drinking buddies with Earth Day.
I know some people complaining the Colts just skip the Rooney rule, but the Rooney rule doesn't apply to interim coaches, so that's how they got around it. But I'm pretty sure this guy's going to be their coach. The writing's on the wall. The interim tag is going to be eventually removed. He's going to be their coach. But that was a good win. I mean, Jonathan Taylor looked like Jonathan Taylor for once. I guess the hamstring injury is behind him. I love how Jeff Saturday said, "Nope, Sam Ehlinger. No thanks. Let me get the veteran quarterback, Matt Ryan. I'm auditioning for a job. I'm not going to have Sam Ehlinger in charge of that." So that was a good decision. And he was able to coach these guys against, my God, the damn Raiders. What a joke. Look
at Derek Carr. Look at him. He's
How
so broken
do you lose to a coach off the streets? What?
Not only that, a coach who tweeted that the Raiders are bad. He
First
tweeted
time ever in history.
Yeah,
First time ever in history that somebody said the team was terrible and then beat them, and then actually beat them the next week. So
you know what? Maybe it's my false optimism on this Colts team. I'm just very high on them, and then plus with the Titans, I don't know what it is. God is like hating the Titans a lot because he is making sure all their good players keep getting injured. And I don't know. After what I saw from Malik Willis, he doesn't look like such a fun guy anymore, Romeo. I think he kind of stinks as a quarterback in the NFL after last week.
Well, Tannehill's back though.
Yeah. So yeah. Until he gets injured again. Treylon Burks is back. I guess that's a positive sign for the Titans, but I don't know. I think the Colts, they have a chance. I really do. And I like what Jeff Saturday is bringing. Rigged hiring, yes. I think that definitely this was shady business done by the Colts. This was Jim Irsay's good buddy, good friend. Weird that you didn't hire, like Anthony said, a John Fox. Like John Fox is literally just sitting on your coaching staff. Like you can't do it. You can't do any worse. I mean, he'd be fine as an interim head coach. Like, and then you can hire Jeff Saturday, I guess. But yeah,
they had another former head coach on the staff too. I'm trying to see who it is. But yeah, they bypassed two.
No.
Man, just wait. Now that they hired Jeff Saturday, the Texans are going to be like, so we can hire Josh McCown, and they'll fire Lovie Smith.
No. Don't do that to Lovie. I mean, give Lovie one more year. I mean, Lovie kind of feels like a filler coach, though. He doesn't feel like he's supposed to be there for very long.
Oh, I totally think after everything that came out with Brian Flores, they were going to hire him, and then all that came out, be like, oh, we can't hire Josh McCown. He's done nothing. We'll just promote Lovie Smith.
Yeah, Lovie, go ahead, man. You're the head coach now. And Lovie's like, all right, cool. Eric Bieniemy, lucky for you. You're going to get a job next season. I don't know how you'll do, but you'll get a job.
Yeah.
But the AFC West, minus the Chiefs, have been struggling. I showed the image of poor Derek Carr. Look at him. Broken, tired, crying. This was the saddest press conference I've ever seen. And we've seen a bunch of press conferences from UFC and AEW lately that were sad. But this, I was depressed. I was depressed watching this. I was watching him, and he looked defeated. I've never seen this. But the AFC West, earlier this season, we were calling this the juggernaut of the NFL. We were saying this is the division. Mm-hmm. Romeo, the True Heat Sports. What division did you say last for predictions?
That one. And I had 3 teams going to the playoffs.
People were saying even 4. And you know what? And Anthony, remember week 2, I said the AFC West, is it overrated? And you were like, jeez, I don't know about that. And guess what? Chase Stradamus strikes again. The AFC West is overrated. The Raiders stink. The Broncos are just a mess. They're just such a terrible team. The Chargers, we don't even know what they are. Like, are they a good team that's just injured, or are they a bad team playing a good team? We don't even know. We don't even know what the Chargers are. They don't have any identity at all. The Chiefs, we know what the Chiefs are. They're just a powerhouse. They're the big-headed monster. But Romeo, how disappointed are you in the AFC West this year, and any team in particular that you're just like, what the fuck are they doing?
Listen, I think the Chargers still have a chance to fix things. They could get back Keenan Allen. I laugh because I can't believe I said that sentence. If they can get back Keenan Allen,
you would think he got shot this season, not Brian Robinson. By the way, he's not playing. Brian Robinson got shot, and he has more snaps than Keenan Allen. Mike
Williams too. Justin Herbert's production should go up if they can get those two back on track. So I'll leave the Chargers out of it. The Broncos, they seemed something was off from the beginning with that offense. Javonte Williams got hurt pretty early on. That didn't help things. And now Jerry Jeudy's hurt and gone for the year, right?
Again, yeah.
Sheesh. And Russell Wilson, he was never the better quarterback in Seattle, I guess. Geno Smith was the guy. Seattle guessed right. And the Raiders, they should be separated from this conversation because they are the biggest dumpster fire in that division by far. I had the highest expectations for them above all else. I think I picked them to win the division. I thought they were a good team last year, and they added arguably the best receiver in the league at the time. Not anymore because Justin Jefferson's going off, but that head coach, Josh McDaniels, what a fraud. He should have been fired right after that game. He should have been fired after that game. I'm sorry.
Did you see the report, Romeo, that the Raiders can't fire him because they're stressed for money? So if they fire him, they would owe a lot of money towards him. So they have to keep him for this year and then next year, and then they can fire him.
Disgusting.
Yep.
Disgusting and cheap. Awful. I was gonna say Derek Carr, his press conference. Same thing.
Same thing. It's the same thing.
His press conference, he threw a shot there at the end with the guys in the locker room, like, some of you are trying, some of you are not. And that's just gonna make things worse for this team.
Anthony, which team has disappointed you the most in the AFC West?
I mean, definitely the Broncos. They've always been the number 2 for me, and I wasn't a fan of the Nathaniel Hackett hiring, but I thought Russell Wilson would make up for it. And I mean, that's obviously not been the case.
Hackett is Lombardi compared to McDaniels. Jeez.
Oh,
I mean, they should have fired him by now. I don't know why he's still coaching, especially after that Colts game. Like, I know it was like week 5 or whatever, but that was reason enough to be like, okay, you can walk home and we won't see you tomorrow. But they didn't. They've kept him, and if he's somehow the head coach next year, I mean, that's a huge mistake. I'm not selling my Russell Wilson stock. I kind of want to buy low on this. I just think, there's nobody in the league that keeps up with their body like Tom Brady and Russell Wilson. So I feel like Russell's still.
I don't know, Anthony. Have you seen that danger which he eats? It doesn't seem healthy, bro. It doesn't seem like the best thing to eat if you're trying to keep up with the blood.
He pays like millions of dollars a year on his body.
I'm gonna pull up the Subway recipe for the danger witch, so that way you can just see what toxic mess Russell Wilson is putting in his body.
Yeah, well. Regardless, disappointed with the Broncos. Disappointed with the Broncos, but I'm not selling my Russell Wilson stock. This is just going to be, unfortunately, another bad year in Denver. Vegas.
I'd rather have FTX than Russell Wilson stock right now.
That's nothing right now. So Anthony. So it's a foot-long sub, toasted Italian herbs and cheese bread. With bacon, pepperoni, Genoa salami, and black forest ham. The cheese is provolone toasted. The veggies are lettuce, tomato, green peppers, banana peppers, and then you get some regular mayonnaise and mustard in there.
Lost me a salami.
Plenty to have on there. Plenty to have on there.
Wilson looks like a salami guy.
I'm sure year 2 of Russell Wilson in Denver, there'll be plenty of good things happening. For the time being, I'm also disappointed in your Chargers, Chase.
Me too.
I really like Herbert. And
Yeah.
I've always felt like he was a safe fantasy pick, and he hasn't been great in fantasy.
I've been telling people. I said stay away from Herbert in fantasy because of our offensive coordinator. He does, for whatever reason, he loves Herbert just checking down. He doesn't want Herbert to be Herbert. He doesn't want Herbert to launch the long ball. Because Herbert, it's so funny. Herbert, like, it's just like he's still great. I still love Justin Herbert. I'm not trying to insult it. But it just feels like the coaches don't love him. And I don't know why.
All of a sudden, the Herbert Tua debate is turning around on its head.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying Tua over Herbert now. Which, may have some merits.
I will buy low on Justin Herbert too. I feel he'll rebound.
Now you're talking.
But those two I was disappointed in. Vegas, I wasn't too surprised. I'll see what I had. I'll tell you in a second what I had them for record prediction coming into this year. But they were the 4th place ones for me. I wasn't expecting too much out of them. But bad. I wasn't a McDaniels fan. I saw what he did in Denver, and it wasn't good. I did have him last in their division. But yeah, it sucks for them that they're kind of stuck with him. But they had a good head coach, and they're like, let's bring in Josh McDaniels. We saw him do so well with Denver. We want to have that success. Terrible.
Realistically, if money weren't an option, all 3 of these coaches should be fired.
Oh, Staley. Yeah, no, Staley just needs to go. Like I'm so tired of this guy. He pisses me off, dude. That Chargers Niners game, that was a breaking point for me, Romeo. I'm just done with him. I can't even get mad at him anymore. It's just kind of like it's like the child you're disappointed in. You're just like, yeah, just go in timeout.
I can only imagine watching that game with a 49ers fan too.
Not fun. But anyways, you know what is fun? Talking about some sleeper MVPs. Now we all know the big favorite names. But there's some sleeper guys out there. There's some guys that are doing good things. Saquon Barkley looking like one of the best running backs in the NFL for one of the shockingly good teams. Anthony, your boy Kirk Cousins, and also his teammate Justin Jefferson. And Tua Tagovailoa, who won the NFL midseason MVP award, which I didn't know existed.
Ridiculous.
But he won it.
I had no business winning that, missing 2 games.
Midseason MVP Tua Tagovailoa and his teammate Tyreek Hill. Now, I just want to know, Romeo, is there any sleeper MVPs you like? Anyone that no one talks about that you're just like, you know what? They should be in the MVP discussion at least. Not saying win, but sleeper. Like, they can come up and get those 3rd place votes, kind of like Calvin Johnson in the past and stuff.
Well, not listed on that graphic, but you did mention their names. Justin Jefferson, who I think has more of a case than Kirk Cousins. Tyreek Hill, who I think has more of a case than Tua Tagovailoa. And yeah, I think those are my 2. But wide receivers, they're not going to give MVPs to wide receivers.
Yeah.
So I can understand why you have the QBs there and why the wide receivers are underdogs to win it.
Mm-hmm. Anthony, do you have any sleeper MVPs?
I'm very happy to see that you decided to acknowledge Kirko, Chainz, and Justin Jefferson, Chase. I appreciate that. Those are 2 I definitely think are sleepers, but I agree, Romeo. I don't think we'll ever see a wide receiver get the MVP. But Kirko, Chainz, I like seeing him in the MVP conversation, as he should be. But let's give it to a former MVP. Tom Brady is somebody who should be in it. I love Tom Brady, but I'll say this about him. Look at what he has to deal with at head coach. He went from Bruce Arians, one of the best head coaches in the league, to Todd Bowles.
Romeo knows a little bit about Todd Bowles.
Yes. Terrible head coach. I was pretty disappointed to see him get hired. Like, here's the thing. If it wasn't for Tom Brady, we'd be talking about him like we do the Raiders, like we do the Broncos, where it's like, why on earth did these teams, or a better comparison, the Saints, who hired former Raiders head coach Dennis Allen, thinking they were going to strike gold twice. No, he was terrible in Oakland. Now he's terrible in New Orleans. Todd Bowles was terrible in New York, and he'll be terrible in Tampa Bay when Tom Brady's gone. But because of Tom Brady, they'll win the division and might even win a playoff game. So that's why Tom Brady should be MVP, or at
No.
least the underrated conversation for MVP.
Romeo, you must have been conflicted there. You hate Brady, but then he also like insulted Todd Bowles. So this is like a conflicting theme for a Jets fan.
I don't care about Todd Bowles. I don't care.
Okay.
Shout out to Geno Smith. Hey, he's a sleeper too.
I was gonna say I didn't put him in the graphic because I was just like, I wanted to keep the Vikings theme going and stuff. But Geno is a sleeper MVP, but I would have to choose my sleeper MVP honestly as Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill has really changed like the culture in Miami too. Like just that team plays with just a little bit more swagger because of Tyreek Hill, and he does a lot for Tua. Like Tua will underthrow those balls, and he goes back for them too. So I would give my sleeper MVP to Tyreek Hill. But boys, we're gonna play a quick game of Would You Rather. So there's gonna be two players, and you have to just say Would you rather. Who would you rather have on your team? Now think of it as your team. The Jets. Anthony, the Vikings for you, and me, the Chargers. Who would
Think
you
of it as how
rather
the Jets are constructed right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Who would you rather have as your player? So all offensive players. I didn't find any fun defensive players to kind of
I don't need
compare to
any
each
defensive
other.
players. That's
But-
I'm good there.
All offensive players. So we're going to first start at wide receiver. Who would you rather have between the two of Justin Jefferson or Tyreek Hill?
I don't know. There's no reason to ask me this. As an LSU fan, it's Justin Jefferson every day. Not to mention the fact that Tyreek Hill already passed on being a Jet and said, no, thank you. So you know what? Fuck off.
No. Anthony, I'm pretty sure your answer is very obvious here.
You're telling me I could go from one Justin Jefferson on my offense to two? I'll take Justin Jefferson.
No, you just keep Justin Jefferson. It's just a hypothetical trade.
I want two Justin Jeffersons.
No, you only get one. You only get one.
All right. Well, I guess you answered my question.
So you'll keep Justin Jefferson. The Vikings GM calls. The Dolphins GM says, "Hey, we want to give you Tyreek Hill and a bunch of draft picks for Jefferson." They just hang up automatically.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. I would take Tyreek Hill because his speed, it'll be good for Justin Herbert. No, Justin Herbert's arm with Tyreek Hill's speed, perfect. It'll be Mahomes' magic again.
Terrible.
So we got two of the top running backs, in my opinion, in the NFL. I know that a lot of people are different on the running backs, but who would you rather have on your team between Mr. Saquon Barkley or Nick Chubb of the Browns? I feel like Nick Chubb, a lot of people will say Nick Chubb just because the Browns are bad. But Nick Chubb's been low-key killing it. But, Romeo, who would you take between Saquon Barkley and Nick Chubb?
I'll take Chubb. He's been more consistent over the years. Saquon has gotten a bit injury-prone. Great year this year. I'm not taking anything away from him this year, but I'll take Chubb for the consistency.
Anthony, who would you take?
I'll take Saquon. I mean, what's better than having one injury-prone quarterback when you can have two? Or running back, running back. Although Dalvin, knock on wood, played every game this year. But man,
now you say that he's going to get injured during the Cowboys.
Don't do that to me, Chase. Not now.
He got a nice backup though. Madison's nice.
Yeah, I love.
But he's taking over.
Great. He's great. But Saquon, when Saquon's on, he's on, and I feel like this is the first time in a bit. It's maybe he's just been a little healthier. I don't know what it is, but I like Saquon. I'll go with Saquon.
This is a hard one for me, but just based off how the Chargers are constructed and the way they love to use their running backs, you would think I would say Saquon, but I want Nick Chubb because for whatever reason, we don't have a running back like Nick Chubb. So imagine Nick Chubb and Austin Eckler. I think it would be really, really great combination there. So I would rather take Nick Chubb. There was rumors of the Chargers actually trying to trade for Saquon, which I was like, with what fucking cap space? Like we have no cap space, but it is what it is. But finally, this is the spiciest one. This is a battle of two QBs, and it's actually been a hot debate. Would you rather take Tua Tagovailoa or Justin Herbert? It's been a hot take. A lot of people are now on the Tua train. They're a Tua-holic like myself. They see the promise. They see what he does at quarterback. And a lot of people, they're down on Herbie. They're saying he's overrated. They don't like him anymore. Romeo, Herbie or Tua?
Wait. I want to hear Chase go first because he's talking about his Alabama quarterback or his NFL quarterback. That'll help me
go
decide.
last. He should go last.
I gotta decide, Anthony. This is hard for the hearts.
All right.
We have the second best Alabama quarterback in history, not named Bryce Young, And then we have probably the second best Chargers quarterback in history. I mean, god dang, that's hard.
Yeah, let me go first because mine is the easiest. First of all, I'm not taking a fucking Dolphin. Okay. Second of all, I'm not taking an Alabama Roll Tide. No, I'm not. Fuck that too. Third of all, listen, if you give Zach Wilson, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill, I bet he's in the MVP conversation too. So
I think you can give a lot of people them. Yeah. Can you imagine Herbert to Wilson? Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think Elijah Moore would be complaining.
Maybe he'd even get a target.
Yeah. Anthony, who would you choose?
I really like those points, especially that last one there. You know, who does Herbert have on his offense besides Eckler? I liked Herbert. You know, I really like him. I think I go Herbert, especially, you know, Kirko's not going to be around forever. They got to look at the future, and let's steal from Chase's present and have a good future for the Vikings. I'll take Herbert. Final answer.
You know, this is actually a hard one for
Herbert
me
to Jefferson. Oh my goodness.
Or Herbert to Hill. You know, like I wanted. I'm sticking with my boy Justin Herbert. What were you gonna say, Anthony?
There we go.
I
gotta say, we can't forget he's the runner-up rookie of the year a few years ago, Justin Herbert.
He won. What are you talking about? Justin Herbert won the rookie of the year. Justin Jefferson lost. No.
Wrong Justin.
What's the joke there?
It was the right Justin. No, so Anthony and the other Vikings fan I know named Brandon, they always like to troll me saying, "Oh, Justin Herbert's the runner-up for rookie of the year and stuff," but he won. The fans voted for him. He won. That's just simple. I'm sorry, Anthony. They didn't vote for fucking Justin Jefferson. They voted for Justin Herbert. Yeah, well, I'm acknowledging it because he's my quarterback. I love my quarterback. He was my QB1 coming out of college. I was praying that we would get Justin Herbert. I was so afraid that I'd be stuck with fucking Tua for the rest of my life, and then I would just have to deal with the fact that
you're an Alabama fan.
I know. Yeah. I love Tua, but not that much. Like now, if this was Bryce Young, I might be a little bit different. Okay, I love me some Romeo.
Bryce Young, future Lion.
Romeo, did you not love when Bryce? I know you hate Alabama, but Bryce Young in the face of LSU and in Death Valley, it looked like the game was over, and Bryce Young scrambles, breaks a sack somehow out of your stud number 40 outside linebacker. Like, oh, man,
Harold Perkins,
he's a beast. Bryce Young, Harold Perkins is also a beast. Yeah. He's going to have one more good year and then pull a Will Anderson and, you know, just chill. Just do his thing.
Yeah. get paid. I'm not all that impressed with Bryce Young. I'm not really. I think the Lions are in for more suffering if they got him.
Oh, man. Why?
It'll be better than Goff, but more suffering.
No. Young special. I like this kid. But yeah, no, I'm choosing Herbert. Tua, the problem with Tua is that he still has the same issues that he has in Alabama. He doesn't make any second read progressions. He just whoever's his favorite, whoever's his favorite target, he just chucks it to them. And like I said, he doesn't throw with his dominant hand. If he actually threw with his right hand, I think he would actually be better. But he's stuck pretending to be a lefty. So what can we do with that?
He's got Waddle and Hill though. He's got Waddle and Hill.
He has 2 top 10 receivers. It's fine. He's fine.
But literally, the description you just gave was Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
But if Zach Wilson had Waddle and Hill, things might be different.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Zach Wilson, Romeo, this week the Jets, they look to get some revenge. I just want to know, Romeo, how are you feeling about this week's matchup against the Patriots? I mean, you would want to split the division series, and especially because the Bills are not looking so hot. This would be a huge win for the Jets. Jets could probably almost sneak into that first place position if the Dolphins slip up a little bit too.
This is the biggest Jets game since the Rex Ryan era. Skipping Todd Bowles. I know Todd Bowles had a good year. Go all the way back to the Rex Ryan era. This game, the psyche, you know, the Jets are doing so good. But if they lose to the Patriots twice, and the Patriots have beat them like what? Freaking 12 times in a row or something.
Yeah.
If they beat them 2 more times, like you can't help but think same old Jets. No matter, they'll be 6-4. They'll be in the division race. But if you can't beat the Patriots, it's like that's a little thing in your head that sets you back. But if you make a statement, if you beat the Patriots, I know the Patriots on the bottom of the division, But if you beat them, you say to yourself, this is not the same old Jets. This should have happened 2 weeks ago, but Zach Wilson played the worst game of his career. If he just plays, if he just game manages, I think the Jets are going to beat them. And I really do believe the Jets will win this game. And if they don't, it's going to be kind of depressing.
I want the Jets to win. I'm loving this ride of momentum they are. I love the loss in the Sauce shit. Sauce Gardner is just amazing too. So it's more fun when
Zach Wilson cannot turn the ball over 3 times and
especially
bad clean pockets
and bad turnovers too, where he tries to throw it out of bounds and it gets intercepted.
Where he's trying to play hero ball, try to be the guy like Josh Allen was trying to do on Sunday, like that. He can't look like that.
Anthony, do you have any takes on the Jets and Patriots?
I really like the Jets. I really like Robert Saleh. I think he's a really, really, really good head coach. I'm glad to see them doing well this year. Mm-hmm. I like him. I like him. So, yeah, we'll say the Jets.
So, Sauce Gardner's not in the MVP situation conversation, but he's my MVP for this team.
He's definitely defensive rookie of the year.
Yes.
I don't care how many interceptions that Tariq Woolen kid has. Tariq Woolen's great, but he's not Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner's locking up his opponent. Tariq Woolen gives him still a bunch of yards. He's Stephon Diggs pretty much, but taller and faster.
Yeah, Sauce just changes the game completely. He's so dominant.
Shuts down literally one side of the field. I knew that guy was going to be special because Jamison Williams was literally torching everyone in college football. Everyone. And named the cornerback, Jamison Williams was fucking destroying them. And in that national championship game against Cincinnati, when Jamison Williams couldn't get open, I was like, what the fuck is this Sauce Gardner? Is this Ahmad Gardner guy really this good? Because Jamison Williams literally could not get open that game. It was frustrating watch. And that's when I said this guy's the number one corner. Like Stingley Jr., good player, but Sauce Gardner.
He's been playing good this year too. I think the Jets have the best defense in the league.
Oh, in the league. Anthony, what do you got to say about that? Jets best defense?
Maybe. I mean, I definitely wouldn't say it's my Vikings. So I can see it. I think there's a very strong argument. I mean, Robert Saleh, he killed it with the Niners as the defensive coordinator. So that, a lot of teams nowadays are moving more towards taking the offensive-minded coaches. So I think this shows there's still strong benefit to taking defensive minds because he's killing it with the Jets. I think you can make a strong argument.
Sometimes I think it's good if you get it, like a Dan Quinn, who just admits that I don't know shit about offense. So he hires these like Kyle Shanahan dweebs and says, yeah, you just do your thing, bro. Like I'm just here to call defensive plays. And then they let the dweebs call these offense. Sometimes I think there's a benefit to having a defensive coordinator that just does like all in on defense and doesn't really care about the offense, but hires like a really good offensive mind. Like that's where I feel like Cliff Kingsbury will ultimately make his money in the NFL as a good offensive coordinator, where it's like a DC head coach is like, yeah, Cliff, just go make your crazy plays. Who cares? Yeah. Like I feel like that is a thing that could happen. And I think that's what makes Saleh great because he just went over like, who's your coordinator's younger brother of LaFleur, right? That's your offensive coordinator. Yeah, he just lets the younger LaFleur brother just go like, oh, yeah, you just do your shit, bro. I don't give a fuck what kind of plays you're calling.
And he's been very, very frustrating. But last week against the Bills, called the best game of his life, his coaching career.
Mm-hmm. Anthony, your Vikings, no noon nightmare. We're not getting Kirk Cousins at noon. It's the Fox America game of the week. No Troy Aikman and Joe Buck for this one, which is sad. I wish they were back. It doesn't feel like Fox with them, but Greg Olson's trying. How are you feeling?
The Cowboys get 2 back-to-back game of the weeks. Unbelievable.
They're America's team. What do you expect? Yeah, whatever. How did the Chargers get 2 Sunday night football games back to back? That's what I want to know.
And they still have I think they still have a Monday night game to come.
We still have one more Sunday night game, but I think that'll definitely get flexed. It was
get them out of there.
It was against the Rams, so it's like no one wants to see the Rams anymore.
Goodbye.
But yeah, Anthony, how do you feel? We'll talk about my Chargers soon enough. I don't fuck Staley. But anyways, Anthony, what are your thoughts on the Vikings taking on Cowboys? I think this is a bigger game than most people are expecting. Like I think so too. Cowboys are also being favored in this game. People are favoring the Cowboys.
Well, here's the thing. They both have streaks coming in this game. The Vikings have not lost a home game this season. The Cowboys have not lost a game in US Bank Stadium. Shows how bad the former head coach of the Vikings was. But here we are today. I think this is a big one because the last time the Vikings had a win like they did in Buffalo was against the Saints when it was the Minneapolis Miracle. And I like to forget that next game because they got killed by the Eagles.
Oh.
This is why I think this is a big game. If the Vikings can rebound and win this game, I mean, that's a pretty big deal because it shows, I think that's hard to do, especially after a game like that where you win like that. You can be on that hangover for a little bit. I mean, we see how much of a Super Bowl hangover the Rams have been on. So if the Vikings are able to really put last game behind them and move on.
Hold up, Anthony.
Yeah.
The Rams are just not on a hangover. They're still in college. they're still drinking. They just woke up and they're still drinking. They're just like, oh fuck, the party's over. Oh fuck, no it ain't. They're still drinking the beer. They're trying to get a little bit of the kick. The Rams, they literally think the party's still going on. I don't think they realized there was a new season. They were just like, oh, new season, what's up?
Yeah. I'm surprised they have the Cowboys favored. Like, I get if this is in Dallas, but Minnesota, if I was a betting man for sports, I'd say that was a pretty good one to put your money on, but we'll see. I'm hoping for the best. I think the Vikings do win, but we'll see.
Romeo, what are your thoughts on the Vikings versus the Cowboys? Does Anthony's team pull it off?
I'm rooting for them. I want them to pull it off, but I think the Cowboys are going to be pretty peed off from what they did with the Packers. I think the defense is going to come back and respond. And I think the Vikings, might be too high off the Bills game. And you can see like the opposites attract there, right? The Vikings are high from a win. The Cowboys are sour because of a loss. And I could see why the Cowboys would be favored in this because, and also because the Cowboys have so many fans that are going to be betting on them. So that probably helps in the factoring of them being the favorites.
I think it's
a one-score game.
I think the line opened with them as the favorites, so they were opened as the favorites against the Vikings.
31-24 Cowboys.
Anthony, I'm sorry. I just feel like you guys are gonna get Fox cursed. I just see the Kirko Chainz graphic, Greg Olsen trying to talk about it. I see Greg Olsen trying to mimic it too. I feel like the Fox crew is gonna curse you guys. They're gonna be too high on you. And this is going to be Dak Prescott return to form. Like, I want to choose the Vikings in this situation, but Tony Pollard's been looking phenomenal as a running back in the NFL too. He's been
Zeke
looking
returns,
really good. Oh, never mind. Yeah, you won, Anthony. If Zeke is fucking playing, that guy can't run the football anymore.
There we go, Chase.
Take everything back that I said. Sunday Night Football. You guys get to see them again. You must have loved watching them last week. Well, you get them again this week. As you get the Los Angeles Superchargers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. My Chargers, disappointing loss. They should have blown out the 49ers. It should have been a blowout win for the Los Angeles Chargers, but instead, walking away, tail tucked between their legs, 5-4. Absolutely ridiculous. They're playing the Chiefs. Now, if history repeats itself, we have been always at least splitting the games against the Chiefs. Splitting. So we have split the division every single. Now, granted, some of those games have asterisks, like the game where we played against the Chiefs backups and everything of that nature. But last year, we did beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. We beat them on their home turf. But I believe Mahomes still has this record. If I'm wrong, y'all can correct me. Mahomes is undefeated in AFC West games when he's on the road.
Wait, what?
Mahomes is undefeated in AFC West games on the road.
His whole career?
Yeah.
What?
He hasn't lost a road AFC West game. Every AFC West game that he's lost that in Arrowhead.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I believe because I saw that stat last year when the Chargers and Chiefs played with each other in Thursday Night Football, and I believe that holds true because he defeated the Raiders. Yeah, he defeated the Raiders. Yeah, this year. So yeah, it should still hold true. So Mahomes is undefeated in AFC West away games.
Interesting.
Weird stat, right? Like you would think, like, oh no way, he's probably undefeated in Arrowhead. No, he's lost all all his losses are to the Chargers and Arrowhead. So, but
Crazy.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Something about me wants to choose my Chargers, but man, if we're throwing Joshua Palmer and DeAndre Carter out there again, like it's wraps, bro. Like the Chiefs.
Well, they said
defense,
you're going to get one back, at least one.
I'm not even counting on that, Romeo. Like, once I heard Joey Bosa's not coming back, that's where I'm like, okay, yeah, this is over. Because Bosa was very integral to that Thursday night game. Like, he was really good in that Thursday night game. Not in the sack department, but he was still a really good disruptor for the Los Angeles Chargers. And, you know, that defense is beat up. Derwin James is playing phenomenal. Khalil Mack is trying his best, but I don't know. I just feel when I'm watching this team against the Chiefs, and the Chiefs defense is much improved. I think that's one of the underrated aspects about the Chiefs. No one's really talking about how improved that defense has gotten, especially in the secondary department. And then also too, Mahomes, he's doing it again, taking these idiots that I don't even know who fucking exist, and they're good. Like I hate it. I just hate how good this guy is. Like at first, it was like, oh, he's just nope. This guy's good. I have to just admit it. Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback in the NFL, and I have to deal with him for the next 10 years of my life. And it sucks, but at least it's entertaining or something. But Romeo, how do you feel about my Chargers? Is it at least going to be competitive? Do you think Staley has some good game plan for this?
By the way, I got the stat for you. I looked it up.
Is he on the field
Yes,
still?
Mahomes, yes.
Uh-oh.
It's never lost on the road in the AFC West. As a matter of fact, even just combined, he is 23-3 lifetime in the division.
I think one loss is one loss is the Raiders and two losses are the Chargers, correct?
Raiders, yes, both at home, yes.
Yes, and that's where he's
All
lost at home.
All at home, yeah.
Yeah.
That is 23-3. Shit. That is insane.
The Broncos have not beaten Mahomes yet. Crazy.
And this game, okay. So he's never lost on the road.
Yep.
That's going to continue.
Does he have I think he has a crazy Sunday Night Football stat too. Like he always goes off on Sunday Night Football. I feel like that's like a Mahomes staple. Like remember last year when he was playing the Bears and he did that 2 years ago, we did the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like he was counting that the Bears didn't pick him. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I feel the Chiefs will lack us, man. It's kind of depressing. It's going to be a bad game. Fuck.
Damn, I can't find the Sunday Night Football stat, but yeah. What's the spread on this? Do you know?
I think the Chiefs maybe +6.
Yeah, I don't think you can cover that either. Sorry.
I mean, is it because the Chargers if the Chargers were healthy, like if we had Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, maybe a competitive game, a more competitive game, or is it just
I'd have a lot more faith in the Chargers offense. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, what did you see last Sunday, Romeo? As because you watched the full
5.5 points. Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll cover that.
Okay, so what did you watch as a fan watching Sunday Night Football? What were you looking at when you saw that Chargers offense against the 49ers?
Well, listen, because I think the 49ers are a sleeper team in the NFC, so I don't even take much, out of losing to the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think the 49ers are a dark horse in the NFC, especially with McCaffrey at it, and if he's healthy. So, I don't think it's that bad losing on the road to the 49ers, but you definitely could have run the ball. Eckler, didn't do much on the ground game, and you're missing your two best wide receivers. I mean, I expected more from what's his face, Palmer, because he looked good. He looked good last week, but yeah, I can't get on the Chargers too bad for last week. I can't, because I think the Niners are going to be competition. I think the best competition. Well, them and the Vikings will probably be the best competition for the Eagles.
Did you hear the Fred Warner, what he said about the Chargers offense? He was all like, oh yeah, we just stayed in the same coverage for the first 2 downs and then changed it up on 3rd down because we knew what they were running.
Wow.
so that shows
I know who that's on.
Yeah, that's on Joe Lombardi and Brandon Staley.
Yep.
Anthony, is Mahomes' streak of being undefeated in the AFC West on the road continuing, or will the streak end like the Undertaker? Will the Chargers be like Brock Lesnar and end the streak?
No, I think just like Roman Reigns, this streak's going to go on for a long time.
Oh, God.
A long time.
Looking at those other three teams in the AFC West, I don't think they're going to be much better next year. So
yeah,
we're talking about what, 2024 maybe.
But that's a crazy stat. I'm glad you guys. I'm glad that was still correct, because like I remember I read that stat. I'm like, no way he's undefeated on the road. Like that's insane. But the Chiefs fans do travel well. They do travel well. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more Chiefs fans than Chargers fans in this game. So, Anthony, when are we firing Coach Staley?
End of the season. Let's keep on through the season.
I agree.
No. So
maybe week 17 if you're lucky. Week 18 with an interim guy, like that's the best we can do. Chase.
We don't have a good. You know what? That's true. We don't really have a good interim head coach option. Our defensive coordinator's in his first year, and I do not want Joe Lombardi as a head coach. So, yeah, I'll stick with Staley. Fuck it.
Maybe you could talk to the Colts, bring in John Fox. They obviously don't care about him.
Do you think we could get Phillip Rivers to be our interim head coach? We can ask Phil Rivers. Yeah, we could be like, yo, Phil Rivers, do you want to be the interim head coach?
No, maybe Keenan Allen. Be like, hey, if you don't want to play, how about you coach?
Keenan Allen. You know what? He looks like a coach too, with his big beard and bald head. He looks like a coach already. So
to be a player coach.
Yeah, he plays and coaches.
In a while.
Yeah, why not? Anyways, Anthony, where can the great people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Effie and Anthony. You can see me talk about Kirko, Chainz himself, and the rest of the Minnesota Vikings, hopefully after a good game of the week next week against the Cowboys.
Romeo, where can the lovely people find you?
This was fun. Thanks for having me. By the way, you know what I've always said. If the Chargers aren't cheap, they should call Sean Payton and be like, hey, you want to team up with Justin Herbert? You got your quarterback. Got your next quarterback.
I think that's our move, to be honest. But Sean Payton runs the same offense as Joe Lombardi. But maybe you'll let Herbert throw down the field. That's what I want. Vertical, not stay in one place.
But hey, I saw what Sean Payton did with Drew Brees. So, True Heel Romeo, Twitter and Instagram. Catch me on the True Heel Heat Wrestling YouTube channel and the True Heel Heat Sports YouTube channel, where we do watch along. So all the games, including Thursday night, Sunday, all through Sunday and Monday night.
All right. You guys can follow me on Twitter at ChaseAuber68. Catch Around the Point every Friday, this week on Thursday, as we predict Anthony's favorite wrestling company of all time, AEW Full Gear 2022. Anthony, your boy MGF, he might get the job done. He might win the AEW title. Will that make you watch AEW, or will you just watch that match at least?
Well, I hope the other company enjoys their last year with MJF and Full Out. Like, okay, Full Out. I looked at the card. It looks pretty bad. I'm more excited about Survivor Series War Games, so sign me up for that.
No, but Full Gear is this weekend.
I'm not watching Full Out, Chase.
Full Out? It's called Full Gear.
Full Out.
Okay.
He's fully out.
He's fully out. Yeah.
That's right. I am fully out.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, you can catch me there. True Heat Wrestling. Sometimes I will do watch-alongs for wrestling, but mostly True Heat Sports for the mixed martial arts and also NFL watch-alongs, especially when the Chargers are on. Look, guys, just saying.
Sunday night?
Most likely. I'll let you know. But most likely, yeah, for sure. But look, guys, if you guys are saying where's Angry Chase, there's a great highlight. You can watch me pound my chair as I thought Justin Herbert was out for the season in week 2. You can see me scream after the Texans blowout. We almost blew the lead against the Texans. You can see me be upset when we barely beat the Browns. You can just see it all. You can just see all the emotions of being a Los Angeles Superchargers fan and how much I hate this asshole Coach Staley. Fuck him. Hope he has a great life. But yeah, that's it. Thank you, Romeo, for joining us this week. Thank you, Anthony, once again for coming on. And you guys have had a good one. Remember, guys, just like our former Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, sometimes you don't have to give a shit in life.
That's dark.